Okay, so Seattle Showdown here with Dessa.
Hello.
Hello, thank you for meeting with me.
Absolutely.
Yes, and you're on tour here with POS.
I am.
Having a good time.
I am. We're like 7 shows into the tour, and it's good. I don't want to jinx it, but so far so good.
Awesome, awesome. I was watching you on the internet today. I saw your NPR thing you did, Minnesota.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Thanks.
Like, you did a acapella thing, and you read a short story, and like did some singing. Yeah, you're definitely a woman of words.
Thanks.
What would you say is your favorite of the three? Like, you're an author, and you know, you're a hip hop professor. Is that? Do I hear that's true?
Yep. I teach a class called The Language of Rap and Spoken Word at a college in St. Paul.
Can I get a little lesson in hip hop lesson? A little improv?
I'm sure that you'd know anything I have to say. We study like poetics, so the same things that you'd study in any other collegiate course. What's alliteration? What's assonance? What makes a good punchline pop?
What does make a good punchline pop? Tell me.
Okay, this is going to get real technical on you.
All right.
But I think a lot of times one of the easy mistakes to make in writing lyrics is to have a pronoun precede the noun that it substitutes. So if you constantly use the word it's hard and I didn't know it was coming and isn't that the way it always is, without saying what that it stands for. Is it life? Is it love? Is it work? Is it a form of relationship? You leave listeners waiting to figure out exactly what you're talking about. And so good lyrics usually will do a noun first. Man, love's a bitch, isn't it? Instead of it's a bitch, isn't it, love? So making sure that the noun comes first, I think, helps.
How many is that? It's like a little bit Billy McManus.
I don't. That's like that lesson was worth exactly what you paid for, which was $0 and
You know, it's like these little lessons you pick up in life, and you learn things, and it was beautiful. I feel enlightened.
Word.
But yes, back to my previous question with that, what is your favorite outlet of all those things that you do?
I think at this point in my career, I love how it feels to sing in harmony with people. I really just like, in the moments that I'm doing that, I think I am the least stressed out in my life. That feels really good, really connected. At the same time, I think I'm probably a better prose writer than I am a singer or a rapper right now, although I'm working hard on those other two. So.
Well, I mean, you're rocking at all of it. Taking the world by storm, Dessa.
Kicking ass right now.
Go,
I'm
girl.
kicking ass harder at prose. So.
Definitely. Tell me a little bit about like when you started your a cappella group. Was there any fear cloaked in that? Because you're going out like pretty much singing naked. You got nothing.
Man. Yeah, absolutely.
Tell me a little bit.
And I feel like, okay, so I wrote a few songs that were based on harmonies, and they had lots and lots of layered vocals. And I wrote a couple of songs that were completely a cappella, so they had no instrumentation. And then I was trying to figure out if I was ever going to perform these or not. And I wanted to, but, you know, I'm only one woman, so I couldn't do all the harmonies and stuff myself. So I hired a group of women to come and sing with me. And I was talking to my dad. We were riding around in the car and trying to figure out what to call us. And so I ended up calling us the Boy Sopranos. And we always wear white dresses and busted eye makeup and combat boots.
Nice.
So it's kind of like a churchy sound because you have the female voices in harmony, but it's real secular whiskey drinking kind of lyrics. So yeah, it was scary, and in part because I'm still, when I began that project, I was still really finessing my pitch, making sure that my voice was emotive, which it was, but I would sometimes be a little off, and so when you're singing a cappella, that is totally apparent.
Yeah.
You know, so the past 2 years I've worked really hard on my pitch.
Well, I mean, from what I heard and saw, you're doing really good.
Thanks. It does feel better.
Yeah.
It does feel better, like than 3 and 4 years ago when I listened to recordings from then. There's a lot of like, oh my god! And now it's exciting to be able to listen to the night's performance before and go, yes, I did.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I did.
Yes, you did, girl.
Yeah.
Awesome, fantastic. Speaking of a few years prior, this new release that you just came out with, A Badly Broken Code, is your first release since 2005.
Ridiculous.
So
indefensible.
5 years.
I know.
So tell us about, like, were you taking a hiatus in there?
No, just slow. Just that I was working slowly.
Well, that's good. You know, put a lot of TLC into this new album.
That, and then like I think I was psyched out. You know, I put out an EP in 2005 that was called False Hopes. and it was really well received for being a short little disc.
Sure.
And so I was terrified of like putting out something that people wouldn't like and ruining what I had going, you know?
5 years in the making.
Yeah, so I was just tweaking out about it. And I think probably that's a bad thing because it took so long, but on the other hand, like I'm really happy with the finished product because I took so long to do it. So
for sure.
No regrets, but I will definitely not be waiting 5 years for the next one.
Keep it coming. You know, you're touring now. You're
Look at me. Here I am.
Here you are. Well, in this album, what is your favorite song?
Oh, wow. That's a nice question. Yeah. I think probably I'm swayed by what like listeners have thought, you know? So if I hear somebody like develop a really compelling reason to be like, this song is not very good, and here's 3 good reasons why, I'm like, oh, that song is not very good. And then if I hear someone be like, well, this song is great because of the imagery and the, you know, whatever, I'm like, oh, that song is good. So I have a handful of favorites, but the one that I really like right now is called The Chacon. And that's one that I sang with the help of a friend, Matthew Santos. And it is not so incidentally the one that is most purchased right now. I think that's why I like it the most, because it's most validated by listeners.
I saw the video you did today, or you didn't do today, but I saw the video that you did.
Okay.
Dixon's Girl. I liked it.
Cool, thanks.
Quite a bit.
Thanks.
I saw it a few weeks ago, but again today before I came. And I liked just the old setting that you did. It was like, what time period was that depicting exactly?
Yeah,
like?
So Dixon's Girl is one of the singles off the new disc. Mm-hmm. And we shot a music video that took place like in the 1940s.
40s.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what was the concept around that?
To be honest, I'd given the album to 3 or 4 music video directors. Mm-hmm. And then they picked tracks that they thought that they could get some leverage on and submitted treatments. So they came up with their ideas. Mm-hmm. And I read the ideas and maybe submit some final opinions on it. But by and large, the idea for that video was that of the director, whose name is Todd Cabri.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did it have like direct correlation with the lyrics? I mean, I'm sure you approved it on that.
I did. You know, it's interesting though, because in chatting with the directors, I'm not a music video buff myself. Like I've seen music videos, there's some I really dig, there's some I don't care for, but I don't have MTV at home. I don't have BT. I don't have MTV at home. You know, so I'm not totally in the loop with a lot of those aesthetic decisions. So in my head, I thought, okay, we're gonna do a video probably that'll parallel the narrative in the song. But I guess most directors are not really into that, at least in this particular cycle of music video making. So he did something that complemented, he thought, the kind of feel of the song, which is kind of tongue-in-cheek on occasion, kind of dark, kind of smarmy.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a video that spoke to the narrative of the lyrics.
Well, I thought you were beautiful in the narrative and in the video.
Thanks. Thanks.
So, but along with that, I wanted to just quickly talk with you about that you've been revered as somebody who's beautiful and talented, but somebody who hasn't like used feminine wiles to get ahead in your career. And that's a beautiful thing, and I just want to, show some respect for that.
Thank you.
And just also ask you, like, would you have any advice to up-and-coming ladies in the hip-hop industry or any other industry for that matter?
I know that, like, it's not like I've reached some pinnacle of success where I can, like, hand out advice on how to get here, because here is a relatively modest plateau. But I will say that in my career and trying to figure out exactly how to work being a woman and how to work being an MC, particularly when there's a lot of other ideas coming from outside sources about how you ought to work those angles.
People want to exploit.
People do want to exploit it. And even if they're being friendly, they think, oh, well, you look great in this small outfit. Why don't you wear this small outfit? And they're not maybe conscientiously trying to hurt you. But my belief has always been that I'm going to have a young woman's body for another 5 or 10 years. And I'm going to have my mind for 40. So I would, 50, 60. So I would hate to inadvertently build my career on the foundations of a figure that I can't keep. I think that would feel bad. I think it would feel scary. And so for me, the correct decision, I guess, has been one that doesn't leverage that or overemphasize it, because it's not mine to keep. Youth and beauty are borrowed for everybody. So
it's beautifully stated. So what's next for you, Dessa?
I'm finishing. I'm midway through a collection of creative nonfiction called A Perfect Burn that is a narrative of a trip to India that I took to visit the death pyres there.
Ooh, so more on death.
More on death. Yes.
More on death from Dessa. And do you have a due date on that?
I don't yet. Still working on the art. But from the Doomtree Collective, we've got a couple of projects coming up. Paper Tiger, who produced the lion's share of my most recent album, is coming out with his own solo project, as is the Doomtree super producer Laserbeak. He's got a full length in the works as well.
Hand movement like that.
Hand movement.
Laserbeak.
Yeah, so if people want to check it out, we're at doomtree.net, and they can follow the progress of our tour there. We're doing regular tour videos, and I've got a tour diary that's running with a publication out of Minneapolis. So if they're interested, they can check us out there.
Yeah. Definitely look it up. Thank you so much, Dessa.
Thanks.
It was a pleasure, a gift, and I look forward to seeing your set.
Thanks much.
Thank you so much.
See you in Seattle again soon.
Hello.